Good morning, a mighty morning to all of you guys. Welcome to the Mighty Morning episode 21. It's been a while. We have a back-to-back this month because this is going to be our mid-season finale until the new year. We're taking a break for the holidays. I got to bring in my friend. He's going to finish off the show strong because he's had a little bit of Java. He's ready to go. And he's got a killer mustache. One that, what is that guy from the 80s with the Hawaiian shirt? Bruce Willis? No, not Bruce Willis. What's that guy with the mustache? The
Magnum
Dustbuster.
PI?
Yes, you have that vibe going on right now.
I just have to trim the sides, but
this is the most trucker-like vibe I get from you in a long time. You look very, like serious, ready to rock. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's so weird because
does it itch?
No, it's just so weird because I've never grown
It's a good look, I tell you.
before.
It's a good look.
It feels weird. It's like when you're not used to having something there and then you feel it and you're like, oh no, it's just my mustache. It's not like an insect crawling on my face.
I one time tried to grow a beard, full beard.
Yeah.
And it was just like Santa Claus, right? And my wife's just like, get that off. You look like you're 90. I'm like, thanks, dear. You're the one that contributed to the white,
I love you too.
Yeah. Get it off right now. Go shave it off.
Well, Santa's not bringing you anything this year.
Lump of coal. How are you? Everything's good?
My God, where did this year go?
Well, we're going to talk about what our year went and how it went. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that we talked about. Also, we're going to ring in the new year with our favorite Christmas movies. About right now, every YouTuber on the planet is talking about their favorite Christmas movies. So I'm like, hey, why not? Let's join the party. It's our top Christmas movies.
Yeah, but we're sticking with our theme. Everyone's doing like a millennial, and it's like, oh my God, I love the Jonas Brothers Christmas episode.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I'm just making crap up. Yeah. Just like put myself in a millennial and being like, oh my God, my Starbucks is cold. Oh,
welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to our rant, our crankiness. But we, first of all, I want to say to people that watch our show and respond and talk to us, I appreciate, and Chris appreciates every one of you. Someone like Darth, good morning to you, Darth, as well. It's the little show that gets a little bit bigger every month, and we're okay with chugging along and slowly getting a little bit bigger and having more people watch us. We appreciate every one of you guys, always do. It's something that me and Chris thought we could do for fun on a Saturday morning, try to live our childhood lives. It's so sad.
It's
no trauma at all. No trauma. No PTSD. But it's something that we wanted to do. Yeah. We enjoyed doing it. We loved looking back at some of these amazing shows from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. So we want to thank all of you guys. And if you know other people that would love to enjoy this kind of stuff, please share, like, subscribe, do all those cool things that will help this little, not channel, segment out. Of the 3 podcasts we do, this is the smallest, but we want this to be the biggest if we can. We want to compete with those popcorn chicken guys, those filthy animals, those guys. They think they're better than us.
Bad reviews.
Was that you? Stop doing that.
I'm like, what are these guys even talking about? And I'm like, they're talking about a movie, but then they're obviously talking about like something completely different. I'm like,
pie.
No one's gonna watch this. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to KFC and actually eat popcorn chicken. At least that.
By the way, they don't sell that anymore at KFC.
What?
Popcorn chicken doesn't exist at KFC in Canada, as far as I know.
When did they do that?
I tried ordering it at a few KFC these because I wanted to bring it onto the Popcorn Chickens show, and they don't sell it. I don't know if this is Canada wide or BC or even North America wide. I'm pretty sure it's not in the States. They have popcorn chicken there because they probably burned the place down if that happened. But Justin on last week's episode actually brought in from Popeyes popcorn chicken to the show.
Oh, well, you heard it here first, folks. If you want popcorn chicken in Canada, you now have to come watch us on YouTube. Boom, boom. There you go. Commercial.
Thanks for the plug. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk about the Christmas movies first, or do you want to talk about the year-end review stuff?
Let's get to the Christmas movies, because the year-end review we can have a lot of fun with, and you know, me and you are very known for derailing for what we're actually talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. We're always methodical in what we do.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just kind of run off some of our favorites. There's no top 3 or top 5. It's whatever we like. We can just kind of talk about, and if there's anything attached to, like, you know, is there any specific reasons? Have you watched any of these recently? Right. So why don't you start off with one of your? It doesn't have to be a favorite, but one of your favorite Xmas movies. We'll almost say something else.
I would have to say one of my top movies from the 90s would have to be The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Is that from Tim Allen? Oh, yes, Santa Claus. That's a great one.
Yes. So if you guys have not heard of the movie, a complete nutshell about it is Tim Allen has his son over. They hear a bang on the roof. Tim Allen goes outside, looks up. He sees Santa. He's like, "Hey, you." And then Santa slips and falls off the roof. He disappears. Tim Allen has to put on a suit and takes over the role of Santa. He wasn't sure about doing it, but, you know, there was the clause on the little card that he read. So he is now dealing with life and his transition into becoming the Santa Claus.
He's the OG of transitioning.
That took me for a second. I'm like,
I want to read the poster here. Scott Calvin must become Santa. No ifs or ends, just one big but. So good.
It's such a classic Christmas movie for me. Mm-hmm. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's Christmassy, and I just love it.
It's campy, it's all that stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a second one which is kind of cute, where he has to find his new Mrs. Claus. You know what they I hate when they leave something out. So when the old Santa Claus died, what happened to the old Mrs. Claus?
She died with him. They were hand in hand together. They're
but
magic.
Like, they should explain that.
Listen, I'm a kid still. I don't need any explanation. They died together happy. They went to Santa heaven.
Yeah,
or North Pole heaven.
Wow.
That's the way I'm going to look at it. I do think that this movie didn't need a third movie. Or this IP didn't need a third one. After the second one, you just should have just stopped.
Yeah, they they took something successful and they tried extending it. You know, they introduced Jack Frost, and then they had Mother Earth, the Tooth Fairy, which was just kind of funny. And then, you
don't need to introduce everything in the world. I think they would have just had a good recipe if they just stopped it at 2 and just kept it that way.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing you could say about not Home Improvement. Oh my God, Home Alone. Tim Allen, Home Improvement right away. Boom. That I was gonna get into that as well. As it's such a different character than what he played in Home Improvement for so many years, right? I mean, he's still a bumbling buffoon in this one, trying to figure out how to be Santa, which kind of works. But yeah, it was just so. I didn't know what to expect when they announced this. I was like, this is not going to be good, probably, because Tim Allen is the kind of guy, right?
And he does that in
yeah, and then I'm like,
too.
wait, hold on. The second I did that, I'm like, whoa, wait, he could go ho, and nobody would miss a beat. Everyone would just laugh, and it'd be great. And I'm like, okay, this might. The minute I did that, I'm like, okay, this might have potential, right? It was just so funny, self-realization of myself. Like I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that might work, and it did. I enjoyed it too. I thought it was a good movie. Is it in the upper echelons for you? The big boys. What's up, Cowabunga dude?
You know what? It's in my top 5.
Oh,
it really is.
That high. Okay.
It is up there. Again, it's one of those movies that I will watch every year nonstop.
I want to know what Cowabunga Dude and Darth's top 5 Christmas movies are. Like, undoubtedly top 5. Okay, let's move along here. So, Santa Claus, I agree with you. Great movie. Let me know as we go along if something dethrones this and gets the higher spot. I know there will be some. So, as we go along, you tell me, hey, I think this one's better than Santa Claus. Okay? So this is our starting point here. Santa Claus as a good base for a Christmas movie, a classic Christmas movie. All right. Okay. My turn. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to get this off the screen here so I can see what's going on in the background here. I'm going to throw you a curveball. Okay.
All right.
This is right up your alley too, though. Okay. This is up your alley. Okay. What do you think about this a movie that I'm going to share with you? Huh?
You're showing me everything that's like 80s, and
but this is love, isn't it? This is love.
It is.
I know you.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you see it?
Actually, the last time I watched it was maybe last year. I haven't watched it again this year.
It's been a year, been a minute. Yeah. Do you think this might be in the rotation this holiday?
Oh yeah. Like honestly, I remember watching this as a kid, but I didn't remember too much of it. And then when I went back to watch it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's definitely a Christmas movie, not for the fact that, you know, he received Gizmo as a Christmas present. But yeah, it's up there.
I watched this movie for the in a while. I haven't watched this movie in like years. So last year in Christmas, I put this in the family rotation.
Yeah.
And so my kids never seen this movie. Right?
Oh.
I played it and my kids are like, oh, so cute. I'm like, wait for it. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're like, he's so cute. He's like, oh, it's so lovable. It's gonna be such a beautiful Christmas movie. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for this one. And then when things started going out of hand, my kids were just like in awe, like, Dad, what is going on here? Who are these? I'm like, they're called gremlins. And they were just in shock. They're like, whoa.
It's such an entertaining movie. It's like
it's chaos.
It has its horror, but even the horror quotes, it's quite hilarious, especially when they're all at the bar or the movie theater.
How about the female gremlin?
You know, NECA released that as a figure. Again, it's great entertainment. It's something, you know, movies from the 80s are never they might always get remade, But somehow, with everything that we have that's updated, graphics, CGI, whatever, nothing's going to be able to touch the magic of 80s movies ever, ever again. I'm surprised, and I'm not saying that this in like, God, I wish, but I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot this movie.
Ooh, I would not. There's been rumors. There has been rumor. I cannot stand when I hear stuff like this. Like, leave this thing alone.
Unless you are gonna reboot this, do not use CGI. You need to create the characters as they were in the movie. It's not updating
you know they're
them.
gonna do. They're gonna CGI this thing. You know that.
It's like
there's something magical about puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Live puppets. They're not perfect. They have issues. I get it. But that was the magic of it in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was a bit out there. Does it look great? No, but that's when the story was good and you forgot about all these imperfections.
Yeah.
You didn't care because it was so beautiful. The story, it was like you just said, it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's got all these things that pulls on you, right? This is an underrated movie, in my opinion, during the holidays. A lot of people forget about this movie.
Well, it's like the next movie that I'm gonna mention.
Okay,
my holiday movie.
I'll have it as soon as you mention it. I'll try to look it up for you. The poster. I have a bunch already here on the docket here.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is okay. Does this dethrone Santa Claus? Yes or no?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, okay.
Only because I've watched the Santa Claus more than the Gremlins. Because honestly, Gremlins was one of those, like, I watched it again later in life. So for me, it was the Santa Claus. But again, does not deter me from loving the Gremlins movie. Loved it.
Okay, so this is still it's Santa Claus is still number one right now in your charts so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you've got one.
Yes.
All
and
right.
It's not your typical Christmas movie, but for me it is. And I was so obsessed when we got the trailer because it was the one actress. Ooh, there's a hint.
Okay.
Who in the trailer, it was like, I think from that point on, I knew I was different.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So
my got the manly stash, baby. That's the difference right there.
Yeah. So my next Christmas movie would have to be Batman Returns.
Bam.
Because it is based during the Christmas season. And you know, like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Lots of freezing, lots of snow.
Yeah, which is shocking because you think we'd have Mr. Freeze, but that's a terrible Batman movie, in my opinion.
We had penguins with rockets strapped to their back.
Yeah, like,
I mean, you can't get more holiday than that.
Yeah, it's
free
Michelle
bird food for everybody.
Like Michelle Pfeiffer, it's she is the one and only Catwoman for me, for my generation. Oh no, look at all the static I'm cutting out. Bye.
No, I want to say one thing. When she put on that suit, I was a young boy. And you know, young boys, they're full of energy. And I was just like,
are you talking about Halle Berry?
No, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, I'm like,
why would I talk about her after?
Well, because you were talking about Halle Berry, and then you're like, you know,
forget Halle Berry. I love her. She's beautiful. One of the most natural beauties on the planet. The movie was not so much. I'm not saying anything about Halle Berry. She's amazing. Okay. I'm talking about Michelle Pfeiffer. When she put on that suit and goes, meow.
Yeah. I don't know.
I had to cross my legs and go, whoa, this is really good. There was a lot of things purring. I'll just say I'm going to keep this PG-13.
It was, let me guess, 3 thumbs up.
I was nursing a semi in my pants. But this was this is not a, like, when you think of Christmas movies, very few people are gonna have this top 5 on their list as a Christmas, because they forget about it. Takes place during Christmas time, winter, right?
Yeah. And funny enough about Batman Returns, it wasn't as popular as I thought it was. I thought Batman Returns was like an amazing movie. It wasn't well received with fans. Like, I
liked it when I first saw it in theaters.
I know. And that's the thing, is like, it was a good Batman movie before they really started getting campy and
falling off the cliff there.
Yeah, it's like, and I love the first one. I really love the second one, and then anything after that, it's just like, no. It's something to put
when
on.
When Nipplegate came out, that was the end.
Oh my God! When he pulled out his, I really want to say the F word, the freaking credit card, Bruce Wayne credit card. I'm like, it's not funny because you are Bruce Wayne, and it's. No. I'm just,
what I loved about here is the acting from these top tier actors: Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. These guys are Hollywood icons, right? You mention the name, people are gonna know who they are. And I thought the story was great too, because you see the troubles in both of our villains here, right? You see Danny DeVito as a disgusting, low down tyrant, criminal-minded villain. And then you see Michelle Pfeiffer, who's had this trauma and has warped her mind, her good, pure mind, into this complex anti-hero type of character. She does what's best for her. And if she happens to do good, then great. If not, she'll do evil. It's whatever fits her at that current moment. Yeah. And the relationship between her and Batman, this is a long-standing comic book relationship too. Mm-hmm. The two of them always had this love-hate relationship, right? Yeah. They care about each other, but Batman has to do his job, and she's got to go and steal for her own pleasures, whatever you want to call it. But that was great too in here, and I thought this was a really good, probably in my top 3 Batman movies. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
No, it's understandable. But
I like this one more than the first one.
I get it, because, the first one is, again, an introduction of who Batman is for the time. That was really good. And then the second one, it's a little more complex. We have the love interest of Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Who, they're on screen. They just played it so well together. Like, every time they had to do a scene, especially on the rooftop when she was straddling him, and it's so good. And one of my favorite scenes, I remember the first time watching this, when she gets knocked off the roof and she falls into the truck and she's like, saved by kitty litter, and then she giggles. I'm like, I love that part. Yeah, it's just such a good movie. You get 4 characters, because Max, oh my God, what's his name in the movie? Christopher Walken. He was another character in there that we've seen a lot from. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely one of my top Christmas movies.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, here it is.
I hope it's not one of mine.
Here it is. This, people debate, is it a Christmas movie or not? But I say it is, and it's our show, so it is. So, oh, by the way, I didn't ask you before we move on. Does this replace Santa Claus? Or does it go above Santa Claus in the rotation? So far, Gremlins has not beat Santa Claus, but does this Batman Returns beat it? You're having a tough time out with these ones.
This is a tough time. It would, because this would be a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This would be a Christmas movie I would watch throughout the year as well. It's like horror movies.
So now Santa Claus has dropped down a peg. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is my one here.
Let's see it.
Die Hard. Bruce Willis.
I love
40
it.
Stories of Sheer Adventure. I love the title of the poster. And why did they put the entire story script on this poster? High above the city of LA, a team of terrorists has seized the building, taken hostages, and declared war. One man has managed to escape, an off-duty cop hiding somewhere inside. He's alone, tired, and only chance anyone has got. You pretty much gave away the whole story.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's all the action and...
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. So, again, this was what, 91?
I
92?
don't remember. Yeah, it would be around there, yeah.
Like, there's so much to this movie. And, it's funny because there's a Christmas gathering that I usually do every year, and they always have this playing in the background. And, if you don't know why this is a Christmas movie, it would be shocking because there's...
1988.
Did you see that? Oh, shoot. What?
Yeah. July of 1988. Not real. You're like, speak for yourself. Whatever. My mustache is still red.
There was a Christmas ornament that was made of him crawling through the ducts.
No way. Seriously? I'm going to look this up.
Yeah. I think someone made it, but you just print his photo and then you put it in a rectangular shaped box and you hang it on a tree and it looks like he's crawling through the duct system. Yeah. And Hans Gruber, like, before I even really knew who he was and who he was going to be, especially Professor Snape.
So I think this is Photoshop, but somebody has this here. So I'm going to put this up if I can find it. Give me a second.
Yeah.
It looks like it's Photoshopped from what I see. So here it is. There. Is that it?
No, but that's something you can order. This one,
I've seen different variations of this.
Yeah, but that's practically what it is. And yeah.
I want one now. I want one. I didn't even know this existed. I have to get one now.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, if you haven't watched the movie and you see someone with an ornament like this, you're like, what is this? It makes you want to, like, okay, let's go.
Especially he's got a lighter and he's got blood on his face. I mean, that ain't cranberry juice.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. He's not lighting up the Christmas tree, is he?
Oh my God. That's why and it's thanks to him, we are no longer allowed real trees in apartment buildings.
Really? Is that what it is?
No, I'm kidding. Jesus. But
okay.
Yeah.
Does this dethrone? Well, now what do we have? We have Batman now. Does this, in your eyes, I know the answer already to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Does this beat Batman? No. Does it beat Santa Claus?
Not for me.
It's not even in your rotation during the holidays?
No. Unfortunately, not.
Well, humbug to you too. Whatever.
Hey, not everyone can be perfect like me.
Oh, okay. Not
But
conceited
no,
at all.
it's I recognize it as a classic Christmas movie, but it's not one of my top Christmas movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is yours?
Oh, my next one. My next one would have to be, again, these are practically all my top ones. Uh very, very entertaining, well-known Ghostbuster, Bill Murray, Scrooged.
Chef's kiss.
This movie is just, I love it so much. Yes, there's meaning behind it. You know, we get the classic tale of Scrooge, but, you know, modernized. It is the late 80s. We do have like a crazy cast in this movie. Like a few good names. But this throws like it's a very dark comedy version of A Christmas Carol. I loved it so much, especially the parts when he got visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, his ex-boss. Like, I always remembered as a kid when he picks him up and puts him outside the window and his arm starts breaking apart. Like, I remember that scene as a kid, and then when I went back to rewatch this, probably for the first time after so long, I'm like, that was really creepy for a kid to watch. But that explains so much. Yeah, and it's life lesson. You know, he's this big TV producer. He's a jerk, very successful, and then, you know, he gets, just like the original story, he gets visited and he changes his ways. But, you know, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Yeah. And I loved the fairy in it. I believe it's the Ghost of Christmas Present. So funny. So funny. She has the wand and she keeps whacking them with it and hitting them. And yeah, one of my tops.
This is a good one. This is in my rotation for sure. This is going to be watched sometime this coming week. Heavy rotation this is in. I love Bill Murray. I love the guy. I love him in Groundhog's Day, Ghostbusters. So good, so good. Space Jam, he was great in for that few minutes he showed up for. But okay, so does this replace Batman Returns?
Shoot.
It's getting harder and harder.
It is. I would have to say my thought process is because it's like full on Christmas. Yes.
Okay, it's getting a little dicey up at the top.
But it's like,
it's getting a little dicey.
Batman Returns, Scrooge. This is Scrooge.
Just like slight, a sliver over, a sliver over.
Hair. It's a hair.
A Michelle Pfeiffer hair below, right?
Yeah.
Above. Yeah. Sorry, above.
Okay. Cattail below Scrooge.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So that is okay. So you got Scrooge, Batman Returns, Santa Claus. Is it Gremlins and then Die Hard, or is it Die Hard and Gremlins? Who's at the bottom?
I gotta rank all of them.
No, I'm just saying right now. If
all in total.
Right now, what we've done is this is a ranking so far.
Okay.
What's at the bottom?
I'd have to say Die Hard.
Okay, so Die Hard's at the bottom. You have Gremlins above that. Then you have Santa Claus, and then you have Batman Returns, and then Scrooge right now sits at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna give you another one here. You ready for this one?
Yes.
Okay. So as soon as I find it, it'll be great. I'm gonna wait for the heavy hitters till later, make it even more harder for you. Okay, this is a classic, and I Absolutely love this movie.
All right.
It is.
Is it A Christmas Story?
This is heavy on rotation for me. This is a must every year.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear what Dart just said? Batman Return isn't a Christmas movie for me.
That's okay. That's not everyone has.
I want to know why, Darth. Let's get it. Let's really solve this problem here. Let's all have Darth sit down on the couch, and we will have our clipboards, and let's discuss why this is not a Christmas movie for him.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Yes. That you're wrong. I'm kidding. All right. Back into this study here. Chevy Chase, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is a classic. It says, y'all crack up. He gets electrocuted on a very crazy way. Poster's amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
Right
away, I have a feeling this is going to be right at the basement of the.
Yes, only because, shockingly enough,
you have no Christmas spirit.
I know. I haven't watched this movie.
I'm just gonna leave right now. All right. That's it. Show's over. This guy has not watched one of the classics of all time. Why don't you watch it this year?
Maybe.
So you can't say anything about this now because you haven't watched it.
Exactly.
I will speak on your behalf of what I think.
What I can say and will say is I know the hilarity of all these
Cowabunga dude. Shh, no spoilers.
National Lampoon's well-known franchise. I know they're usually really funny and they always tend to have like a really good cast. So, it's definitely something I should go and watch, and I'm not going to deny that. It's just nowadays it's like I don't like to watch something new because my expectations are so high and then they end up being let down. I go for things that I know already and I'm comfortable with. So I will force myself to watch this. And
Wow. Did you say I will force myself to watch this?
It's not that I don't want to watch it. It's I don't like watching anything new.
In 2024, we'll have a new co-host with me.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I need to.
I'm gonna take over from here.
That's fine.
This movie is a crazy. You take care of yourself. No worries. I'll catch you on Monday as well. That was Darth saying bye. He has to go and do work and life, which is totally fine. You can always
enjoy the last weekend before Christmas. Hopefully, you get all your shopping done today.
Yeah, shopping. I haven't even done all of it yet. Hey, what is that supposed to mean? I'm pretty scheduled. I do.
No, you're a last minute guy shopper. I've seen it.
I don't shop for guys. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
and if I do, it'd just be Calvin Klein underwear. Because everybody looks great in those. Even pudgy me. But this movie is a great American family Christmas movie. This is a typical American family, right? Like they try to do Christmas as best as they can, over the top, impress their neighbors, and go to the mall and shop. It's just a dad trying to do the best he can for his family, right? And he's just such a screw up the whole process, and that's what makes this movie so fun. And it's a series of movies. You have National Lampoon Summer Vacation, so it's just good times. You can't take this movie seriously. There's no learning experience here, no morale.
When is a National Lampoon's movie morale?
I mean, it's probably just do the opposite of what this guy does, and you'll be just fine in life. That's your morale of the story. Do the opposite of what this guy does, and you'll be just fine. But this is heavy on my rotation. This is a must, and it's always on TV every Christmas. It's on.
Yeah,
and that's because it's one of the classics. I think for this movie, my favorite part in this movie, and if you haven't watched it, I won't try to give it away too much.
Yep.
Is when he goes with his kids to do some snow sliding, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
I cracked up. It was so good. It was so good. But this is one of these movies that there are moments in this movie that you just laugh, and you're just like, "What an idiot!" Like, what an idiot. And that's what makes this movie so much fun. I suggest you put it on the background if you're doing something, and then there's some moments you're gonna know because you're gonna hear some screaming, and then you kind of go back and watch that part. And I think you'll enjoy it that way. I don't know if I know you a little bit in what you like. I don't know if this movie is gonna be that type of movie that you'll sit through it without moving. You might be doing something and having this in the background is probably that type of movie for you.
For me, if I'm watching the movie for the first time, I have to sit and watch from start to finish. If I lose interest, I'm out. But again, I do also love comedies. So this is definitely a movie I would watch from start to finish.
Let me know in the new year if you watched it, you had a chance to watch it, and what your thoughts are on it, because I would love to hear it. Because this has been off for so long, so I want to. It's nice to see someone. I mean, you're one of the few that lived in a cave this whole time and didn't see it, but it would be nice to see somebody and hear the reaction of what they thought of this movie for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, put this on whenever you can during the holidays, and let me know in the new year what your thoughts are on this movie. So, since you haven't seen this, I will rank it if this is above the list. I'm gonna say this is. What are we at? What's number one right now?
Oh, number one for me is right now Scrooge.
Right? Okay, so in my list of those, so I'll give you my list of all the movies we've watched so far. Bottom of the barrel, and no offense to anybody or any of the movies here, is Gremlins. Then it's Die Hard for me. Then it's Batman Returns. Then it's Santa Claus. Then is Scrooge. And this is number one so far for me.
Nice.
So those are the ones. I'm not missing anyone, right? No, I haven't missed any. Okay. So yeah, this takes top spot for me. You don't count because you haven't watched it yet, but I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about it when you do watch it. Okay.
That is my homework.
There's your tough homework. All right. You got one, right?
Yes. So for my number 4,
this is a heavy hitter.
It is
heavy hitter, and I already had this on the docket.
And the reason why I chose this as number 4 is because it's up there, but it's not the number 1. So hold on, chill out. Jesus. Change your tampon. Calm down.
Relax.
So
Daddy
my
chill,
number
Daddy chill.
God, seriously. Number 4 is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
I just watched this movie with my kids yesterday night.
Yeah, I watched this last weekend.
We need a picture of us two with the Wet Bandits escape.
See, that could be our
we need that shirt. And then we'll have a follow-up shirt saying the Sticky Bandit. On the back of the sticky in the front.
Honestly, that part, that
is a shirt coming very soon, folks, with me and Chris on it.
That is like the little parts in this movie because he puts tape around his hands and he like sticks it in the donation jar.
He gets 15 cents.
And then like just random scenes where they're on the ice rink and he like takes a hat, takes a scarf, and takes the kid's mittens on the string. And it's just It's such a good movie. It's honestly, it's the same premise of the first one, which people had an issue with.
What issue?
Surprisingly, Home Alone 2 wasn't as accepted as the first one because it was too close. But again, we had new traps, we had a different city, and he wasn't in his home. So and like Joe Pesci and oh, what's his name? I'm so glad we got them back for this movie.
If they had somebody else for Home Alone 2, I'm out.
Yeah, no. And especially the part when he's getting electrocuted in the basement and his hair starts sticking up, and then all of a sudden he's like a full-on skeleton.
Daniel Stern,
thank you. Yeah. He makes it for me. He's like so hilarious, especially when he's getting the bricks thrown at him.
Oh man, my kid was on the floor yesterday laughing about it.
Harry. Like you do not get any more lifelike by taking things that happen in a cartoon to happen to these two.
I think, in my opinion, Marv is probably the best character in the movie.
Yeah. He
sells it. He sells it, man.
He's the comedic relief. So, it's
and Joe Pesci's a great actor, and this guy, I think, outdid him.
He does for the comedic relief, but you have the smart one and you have the stupid one.
Yeah.
And Joe Pesci.
We're not talking about the show. We're talking about Home Alone 2.
Even though Joe Pesci, like we talked about last time, it's Joe Pesci bringing Joe Pesci to Home Alone franchise.
Isn't that insane? The movies that he's done are so hardcore. Like Casino.
And then things got hard in Vegas, so he turned,
hightailed it out of there.
Peace out. But yeah, it's a great movie. He's a bit older. Again, it's see, that's the thing that I love about these movies. You got Home Alone, where it's every kid's fantasy being home alone, like getting to control everything. And then in this one, the second, you get yourself, but you're alone in a whole different city. So like it's the premise that they have for this is just so good. He's scared. He's running around and he's walking down that street at night, and the workers are like, do you need someone to read you, a bedtime story? And
so he was paid, Macaulay Culkin, let's talk about him here. He was paid $4.5 million in Home Alone 2. $4.5 million. That's how much he was paid.
Wait, wasn't it? Oh, really? I thought it would have been more.
That's so next to nothing. But it was a lot back then, though. Wasn't it not?
Because this was 92.
Do you want to know how much he got paid for Home Alone 1?
Oh, I don't even want. It's probably really
Take a guess. What did he get in Home Alone 1?
I remember hearing about it. I thought Home Alone 1, he got $4 million. And then for Home Alone 2, he got $6 million.
So he got 4.5 for Home Alone 2. What's your guess for Home Alone 1?
$2 million.
You got $100,000.
That's it.
Because it was so remember, we talked about it last week, Home Alone 1. It was almost canceled. Right? We would have never had it except for Warner Brothers, when we fumbled the ball, right? And then we had, I think, is it Fox Studios, I believe?
Yeah.
They stepped up, but the budget was still low. It was very low budget, and so he got paid $100,000 for that movie.
That's when you're like, God, I hope he had something else in his contract for like
He got paid.
royalties.
He got paid more for My Girl. He got paid $1 million for My Girl.
Yeah.
You remember that movie, My Girl?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got paid $1 million for that. So that came right after Home Alone 1.
And the crazy thing about My Girl is he wasn't even in it for that long.
Well, he blew up, right? Because in a year before that, Home Alone came out, so he blew up, and that's why they inserted him in My Girl right away, and he got $1 million. So if I'm him and if I'm his parents, I'm going, okay, we went from 100,000 to $1 million now. That's a pretty substantial pay raise in 1
So,
year.
In a sense, I can, again, I'm not right, but this is just my own saying, is like Home Alone was his first big break. I get that. He got the job because he was in the John Candy film Uncle Buck as like a supporting actor, kind of, I guess. So, looking back at the time, this was probably filmed late 80s, early 90s before it was actually released. So at that time, that was a lot of money. Like, I'd like to know what $100,000 would be now. It's stupid to look at, anyways. And then when the second one came around and he started getting more roles, I can kind of get that. But still, at the same time, it's like knowing how successful Home Alone was, like, it's just.
I would definitely never hire his agent, because here's the kicker. You thought the 100,000 is bad.
Mhm.
He does not get a single penny in royalties. What a massive, colossal failure by his agent to not put down royalties in his contract.
Yeah.
He's right now, today he's worth, well, not today, but in the last 10 years or so, he's worth $16 million
Mm-hmm.
in endorsements and all that stuff. He does commercials here and there.
Oh
But
my God, did you see the commercial he did for, I think, Walmart or Target, where he was old, but he was back living at the mansion and he was home? Oh my God, so good.
yeah,
So good.
very good. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame, because I think he should get paid royalties for this. Like,
Yeah.
this is greedy Hollywood, right? This is a must. Like, this is on everyone's list to watch. Home Alone 1 and 2. I don't
Yeah.
know anybody out there I've met yet that doesn't like Home Alone 1 and 2 and doesn't watch it during Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those must-have to watch during a Christmas season.
My kids start begging me right after Halloween ends. Can we watch Home Alone? Can we watch every year? And I'm like, you guys watched it literally 8-9 months ago. Doesn't matter. I'm like, I know, we'll watch it, but I go, December 1st is when we start watching Christmas movies at our house.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's, no matter how many times you watch it in your life, you still got to watch it again and again.
And I know it's a one time a year, but like every time I watch it, I always really enjoy it. I never get sick of these movies.
No,
And
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, where does this rank in your list?
Oh my God. Okay, so it would have to be Scrooged, Home Alone 2. Oh God.
Whoa, whoa. We're on shaky grounds here.
Again, going by Christmas, it would be Scrooged, Home Alone 2, Batman Returns, the Santa Claus, Gremlins,
Die Hard,
and then Christmas Vacation.
You haven't watched it yet, so it doesn't count.
No. So
I'm shocked by that, but I get it. I mean, because I like Scrooged a lot too as well. This is number one on my list of the movies we mentioned so far.
Well, we haven't gotten to the first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So far of the list that we've mentioned, this is number one for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Number one. Do you have any here?
You want me to list my number one already?
Oh, sorry. You've done one right now. It's my turn.
Yeah,
My
it's
turn.
your turn. Nice try.
Sorry. Okay, I've got one. It's not a heavy hitter, but it's a sneaky one. It's a very sneaky one. Okay, so I'm gonna watch this probably this week sometime.
Feel like it's a Christmas Story.
Tom Hanks's The Polar Express.
Okay.
That's a feel-good movie. It's a great Christmas movie, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
What? You heard about it though, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it because it's not up your alley kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Well, how do you know that if you haven't watched it?
I don't know. When something grabs your attention or it doesn't, I know about this, but it's not one of those things that I need to watch right away.
Okay, so what about this that you don't like? You don't like Tom Hanks?
Oh God, no. He's amazing.
Okay, so you like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Do you like animation? Of course you like animation.
I do. I just like probably one of the reasons this is very like it's more computer animated than it is animation.
It is magical though, I'm gonna say.
Again, it's
put it in the background while you're feeding the cat or something.
It takes me what? How long is this movie? An hour and a half to feed the cat?
Charlie feed.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'd maybe play in the background, but I don't know why. It's just not something
I'm beginning to think you're Scrooge. I'm beginning to think so.
No, it's just I don't have to like everything that you
more
like.
More humbug than ho ho ho. I mean,
trust me, I'm a hoe.
I knew you. I was waiting for that.
No, it's just again, it's not one of those movies that I feel like I need to watch. It's not.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know, but I like all my older Christmas movies. I don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the list. I'm gonna say this nestles in somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Home Alone 2. Scrooge. This falls in above Batman Returns for me. This is number 3 on the list. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. It's nestles in right there. For you, it doesn't register. You haven't watched it yet. But do you have I have more here, but we'll keep it to a couple more.
Yep.
Do you want me to go again, or do you have one?
Oh, I have my number 1 Christmas movie. So out of everything that I've listed are like my top 5s of my personal list. Mm-hmm. My number 1 list, which I go to all the time that I need to watch, I don't second guess it, is the very first Home Alone.
Well, that's an obvious.
Well, what?
We already talked about it last week. But I get it. It is probably the greatest, in my opinion. Is it in your opinion the greatest Christmas movie?
Yes.
All right.
Because it was, I don't know what you want me to say. We said top Xmas movies.
Oh, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that we've already talked about it last week, and it's a no-brainer that this is number 1. 100%. 100%.
Okay, well, you give me another one.
I got one. I got a heavy hitter, but I'm going to wait. I got 2 to show you honorable mentions. Okay. We had one kind of spoiled by Cowabunga Dude. It's Ernest Saves Christmas. Dude, this guy was hot for a minute. This guy was hot, man, for a minute. Remember all the Ernest saves, or Ernest does all of these Ernest movies? Like, he was good for a good 5 years, I think, something like that. He was killing it.
I remember watching
this guy. I don't know anything about this guy. I'm gonna look into it.
He showed up out of nowhere because he also had a TV show, right?
Yeah. I remember watching it.
And then I would not be able to tell you if I feel like I've watched this, but I also feel like I didn't watch it. I just can't remember. I know of these movies and the show. Know what I mean, Vern? But it's just, yeah, that's funny. He's like one hit wonder for 5 years.
One hit wonder for 5 years. He's not a one hit wonder. He has multiple hits. It was very condensed part of Hollywood. It was very, very small portion, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he made his money, man. Maybe that was his end game. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go in there, because I'm sure he was a comedian before he became a movie star. I wonder his goal was to go in there for 5 to like 7 years, make as much money as I can, and I'm out fishing in the bayou, right?
He's
I'm out.
I got some student loans to pay off, and this will do.
Yeah, he's gonna pay off some loans, all right. And I thought this movie is funny, man. This movie is it's underrated. A lot of people don't know about it, but if you're seeing it for the first time, go check it out. It's a fun movie. It's a quick, humorous movie that you could put in the rotation. It's not gonna be a world beater here. It's not in our top 5.
Yeah,
but it's not horrible either. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you check it out if you just want a quick laugh during the holidays, because we need some laughter in our holidays. It's crazy, it's crazy time of the year, but a few laughs will go a long way, and I think this is one that should be in the rotation.
And you don't have to use any brain cells when you're watching this. It's like
you might lose some.
Yeah. You're not wrong there, but like it's definitely one of those things where if you don't want to watch a movie and have to follow along, or you have to think about what's going on, definitely pop this in.
Yeah, definitely. That's an honorable mention. Okay, I have another one here that I'm just going to get to that I think is... There's various versions of this for a long time.
Okay.
So I just picked one just with the poster, but anyone can... people can attest to this. It's A Christmas Carol, right? It's a classic.
Like, are you talking about the animation or the...
I'm talking about whatever one that you like. It's the story's the same premise pretty much, right? So my favorite is the Mickey Mouse one. Right? It's just so cute. And I remember watching it as a kid. I was just like, aw, little Timmy. He needs help.
Please, can I have some more?
Oh, that hits my heart. I wanted to just like give all my toys away to Timmy.
Yeah.
Is it Timmy or Tommy? I don't know.
Timmy.
Timmy, yeah.
Or is Timmy the one from South Park? Timmy.
But yeah, A Christmas Carol, whichever version you like, go for it. But this is a classic.
It's definitely one of those... you can't think of Christmas without thinking about A Christmas Carol.
And when you have it right, Tiny Tim. There you go. See, Cowabunga dude is my human correction guy. He just comes and corrects and puts everything in line for me. I will forgive him one day for recommending to watch Willow, but that day's not coming anytime soon. But yeah, I love that cartoon. It really hit me in the heart. I think it's one of those movies that set me up to really try to make a difference in my life, not just coast through life.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying this from my personal view on what I think I should be doing, right? And this movie is one of those movies that said, okay, you need to kind of get into this sort of line, right?
Well, and it's also like it helps you realize like you can have all the money, you could be the most known person, but everything you have doesn't necessarily define who you are. You had me at good looks. Thanks. I didn't say good looks.
Oh, sorry. Anyways.
I see all the wrinkles that you two both could have in common. But
don't worry, I got friends in Botox land.
But yeah, it's a good... Again, it's a life lesson movie. It's it doesn't cost you anything to be a nice person. And you'd get so much more out of life being a nice person compared to being an ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
it's a lot of people don't know this, but it's one of the movies that I look back on and go, okay, what can I do? And so 3 years ago, I decided to do a food drive event, a charity
yes.
event. And this is one of the movies that kind of propelled me to think about doing something like that. So we just did our third year a couple of days ago, and it was a resounding success.
Yeah.
Uh, it was every year we've done it, it's gone bigger in terms of donation, right? So
And
it was great.
it means a lot. And whomever's watching out there, if you can even make the smallest donation to a food
Anywhere to your
bank,
local bank, whatever it is.
yeah, it's, give them a little hope this Christmas because, we have so much. And just like, even going in and giving them money, at least, they can buy what they
Yeah.
need.
There's a little tip I'll give to people at their local food banks. I don't know if it's around North America, but during our local food banks here, if you give them $1, it's actually like giving them $3 because that's the buying power they have.
They match it and then some.
No, it's not that. The grocery stores will give them 3-to-1 ratio for every dollar.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So if you give them $1, like I said, I don't know if all food banks do this, but you can inquire at your local food bank in
Yeah.
North America if they do that. But I know the ones locally to us, if you give them $1, they can go to any of these participating groceries. There's several grocery stores around all food banks that help them out. They can go buy 3 times the amount.
Oh, shoot.
So giving them money is way more advantageous for them than a can of goods. Not that they won't appreciate that. It just
Yeah.
goes a lot longer. And it's easier to go give them $1 than to haul around a bag of canned goods, right?
Oh, yeah. And, again, like some people like to dump their canned goods. And it's just like, it's not. That's why I love donating money, especially to food banks, because we don't know specifically what they need. They could need, and I'm just saying this, feminine products, even,
Yeah. Anything. Yeah.
cat food, it's just take.
Another thing I can mention. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Another thing I can mention to give is if you've got old jackets that you don't wear,
Yes.
give the old jackets, scarves, hats during the winter time.
Blankets, mittens,
If you have this
socks.
stuff that you don't gonna wear, they're just sitting in a closet somewhere, take it out and go drop it off. People who are homeless living outside in the winter could use these. So I've done that. Well, I've actually I sent money to a friend of mine across the other side of Canada where he was able to buy jackets for kids who didn't have jackets to go to school with, right? And
Yeah.
a few dollars makes a massive difference because there are companies there that are, like I said, have buying power because they're a charity foundation. You give them $10, they can go buy a $30 jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things make a massive impact. You don't need to go give money. If you don't have money, I get it. Times are tough for a lot of people. Look around your house, that things that you don't actually use that you think someone could, benefit from that. So anything and everything can help out. Even your time. If you don't have something to give, spend an hour or two at the shelter helping them out. It's funny how during the winter a lot of people donate, but in the summer everyone forgets about donation.
Because it's not that time of season.
Yeah.
And
for me it's year round.
Yeah.
Whenever I can, I will. I donate to the local children's hospital. I donate anywhere and everywhere I can, right? And I don't just pick during the holidays.
Yeah.
We do have our event in the holidays where we do that, but personally, I go any time of the year to donate. So whatever you can, do it, right?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that because we've derailed. But yeah. So this is one of the movies, Christmas Carol. You've watched a version or versions.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this rank?
It's practically Scrooge for me, so it stays where it is.
Okay, so
on my list.
Is this tied with Scrooge or stays like the Scrooge because it's the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. So Scrooge is A Christmas Carol for me. Yeah.
Okay, I probably say the Disney cartoon one is one above Scrooge for me.
Really?
Because it hit me hard, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I would say that is probably number 2. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. We've already accepted Home Alone as the first and only. In today's list, it would be right below Home Alone 2 for me.
Okay.
All right. We'll do one more.
Yes.
How about that? One more, and this is a doozy. It's a doozy. This might change the landscape for me. It's coming in hot the last couple of years for me. It is Will Ferrell's Elf. Rediscover your inner elf.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Santa Claus. My favorite part of this movie is when he bounces and jumps onto the tree. Like Tigger. Doing.
Yeah, it's funny because like this movie, obviously I've watched it quite a few times. It's definitely a Christmas movie. It just it would make my list of what's on there now. But yeah, it's so funny. And it was filmed at the Bay Downtown here in Vancouver. Yeah, so that scene when he was on the escalator doing the splits going up, I used to work there.
Did you try that too?
Yeah. You should see all the phone numbers I got.
To the pants you ripped.
Right
down the seam, baby.
It's such a good film.
Okay, let me ask you, would you ever dress up like this for Christmas?
No.
I could so see you being Elf.
Listen, I don't want to hear about your fantasies about me. No one needs to
I didn't say The Nightmare Before Christmas. By the way, that's an honorable mention too. I don't have it here, but that's an honorable mention too.
I was just gonna say, I know it didn't make any of our lists, but it's definitely one of those movies. Mm-hmm. Anyways, such a great movie, great cast, super funny, especially how he starts in the North Pole.
Do you like the little animation of the claymation? Did you like that?
Yes, because it's a nice play off of the old claymation cartoons we had when we were kids. And
it's so cute, right? Remember he's leaving, he's like, "Bye, buddy."
The narwhal. Bye, buddy.
It was so cute. I love that part too.
It's so good.
We just watched it last weekend. So yeah, we watched this. I gotta say, man, this one is climbing up the ladder for me in the last couple of years.
It's one that, like, I feel like
it's getting
it was known, but like as the years go by, it's like becoming a cult favorite. And you know, it's just it's bigger and bigger. And hello, like when he buys his dad lingerie when he's in the store and he's like, that special gift for that perfect someone or something. He opens it and he's like, love, buddy. Oh God, it's yeah.
Okay. I know where this is already sliding into, and this is a hot one. I'm very curious to see where you slide this one in.
Okay, so without talking about Home Alone 1, so it'll be Home Alone 2, Scrooged, Batman Returns, Elf. What was below that?
You got Scrooge.
Yeah.
Gremlins, Home Alone 2, Polar Express. You didn't watch. Christmas Carol's tied with Scrooge. You said.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Tim Allen.
Oh, and okay, so Oh my God, this is hard. So, okay. It is Home Alone 2, Scrooged, Batman Returns, The Santa Claus, and then Elf. To me, Elf would beat out Polar Bear Express and
Well, you haven't seen it yet, so
yeah, and National Lampoons. So
does it beat out Gremlins? What?
Yes, only because it's funny.
You had to think about that. This thing absolutely destroys. No offense to anybody who likes Gremlins, but this thing absolutely destroys and crushes Gremlins.
Well, yeah, that's why it.
But you had to think about it when I asked you.
Well, because I was trying to remember which movies we listen. I'm 40. Okay, my brain, my memory sucks. Who are you? Where am I?
You're a year older than me. I get it.
No, I'm not. You're like 5 years older than me. Or born in 1920s.
Let's not lie here. This is a Christmas episode. Let's not lie. Let's tell the truth.
But yeah, so that's my list. Elf is at the bottom, but just because it's at the bottom doesn't mean I don't like it.
I can't believe you're saying this. I'm. Oh my God, I'm so rattled.
Oh, calm down.
All right, I'm gonna tell you, this thing slides in right underneath Home Alone 2 for me. It's not even close. Like Santa who? What? It's all about the inner elf, okay? It's the inner elf all day long. This thing gets better and better every year. It's like fine wine, even though I don't drink. My wife tells me it's like fine wine. It gets better and better every year. I thought she was talking about me. Then she said, no, Will Ferrell. So piece of my heart broke when she said that. But yeah, it's a different story for another day. This movie is, as the kids like to call it, slaps. This movie slaps, okay? Wow, I can't believe you had to think about that one. Gremlins is nowhere near this movie. Sorry, I just gotta say it. That's my opinion. That's all I gotta say.
That's fine.
This is right, and this is so good that it's even better than Christmas Carol for me.
I could see that.
Like, I love Christmas Carol. Don't get me wrong. That hurts to say it. It hurts to say it.
But it's like there's so many things, like so many memorable moments in this movie. Like when he first shows up in New York and he's like taking gum off the subway post and chewing it, and then he's in the department store and he takes the perfume and sprays it in his mouth and he's like, it's just like
how about he's at the doctor's office, keeps grabbing the cotton balls.
Yeah. Don't need that.
It's funny. It's not funny, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is this: so many of these heavy hitters takes place in New York. Home Alone 2, Elf, Die Hard. They all take place in New York. Does Die Hard take place in New York or Chicago?
Oh, I don't.
I think it's Chicago. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. I think it's Chicago. The title, surprisingly, it doesn't. Yeah, LA. There you go. It says right there in the title, LA. Duh.
God, how many times have you watched this movie?
Not that many. It's very grim. People die. Hans
Gruber. Did you know in that movie, the scene where he's falling from the building, the director wanted like a true reaction out of him, so they let him actually fall further than what he was expecting, so the fear in his eyes was actually real.
Holy shit.
And then the harness stopped him from falling any further. So that is a true reaction out of Gruber, of him falling from the building.
All right, so we did a bunch of Christmas movies. Those are sort of our rankings here. We hope you guys like that ranking. I'm going to talk about our year in review of what we did. So we have talked about a lot of shows from the past. I'll run down some of them right here for us. We did G.I. Joe, We talked about Transformers. We talked about Gem. We talked about Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Scooby-Doo. We talked about Thundercats, He-Man, Ghostbusters the animation, DuckTales, Captain Planet, X-Men, there was a 94
animated.
Yeah. Sorry, the animated Fox animated X-Men and the Turtles animation from the 80s. That is quite the list, my friend, of a gamut of movies, of great shows from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
And we also revisited Gem and the Holograms
Yes,
over that
very
episode.
controversial episode.
Yeah.
About someone getting their fix. We will definitely jump back into some of these in the 2024 year. I can't believe it's 2024. Wow.
Seriously.
Just so weird to say that. We will go back into some of these episodes. If you have a specific episode or a show that we have not discussed from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s that's related to what we do, let us know in the comments section or visit us on social media at A&R Universe, and put down hashtag Mighty Mornings and say, hey, this is what we would love you guys to discuss, and we will do that if it falls in line with what we do here on Mighty Mornings, or a specific episode from one of these IPs or an IP that we haven't done. Love to get into these controversial episodes or game-changing episodes that change the landscape for animation or TV shows from the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be very interesting.
That's the thing that we love interacting with you guys, like letting us know we might not have watched this show.
Or forgot about it.
I'd be discovering something new that I've never seen before. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
I'm also excited to announce in 2024, I'm going to get Chris out of his comfort zone and introduce him to some shows that he's never seen. Chris is very fickle when it comes to watching certain things. As you see, he hasn't watched National Lampoon, which is a travesty in itself.
Shall I show you my movie collection, sir?
But I'm gonna introduce you to some shows. You've probably heard of them, and I don't know if you've seen them or not. But we're gonna expand our library into Asia a little bit as well. So there might be some anime related stuff from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Like Astro Boy.
Oh, look at this.
Mighty Beaver t-shirt.
Don't worry, Cowabunga dude. We are working in the background right now to put together a merch website, a merch place to go. And we're working on it in 2024. I guarantee you we're going to get something out there. And don't you worry. We'll be having that mighty... That is a cool logo. Big shout out to our friend D, who's with me on the A&R Weekly. He's a genius when it comes to illustrations.
Yes.
He put our logo together. I thought of it, and he took it out of my mind, like Professor Xavier, and put it on pen to paper. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, thank you. You're awesome. You're brilliant. Thank you very much. So thank you, D. And we're going to have... So there's always the good logos that we make, the fun and campy logos we make. But this year, coming up, we might do some dark ones too. Ooh. There might be some blood and horror and dark colors coming. I got some ideas. And I'm going to get you to check off on some of them because you are our resident horror expert. I'm going to be careful with what I just said. So
you wouldn't be wrong.
Christmas. Think Christmas.
Balls.
Christmas balls, you mean?
Yeah.
Ornaments. Yes. So we're going to have a lot of things coming in 2024. Mighty Mornings is not going anywhere. We are going to continue with the format of bi-weekly if the numbers grow. And this is where you guys come in, and we would love you guys to support. Is if you spread the word out, share with your friends, send the links, and have more people come join us on Saturday mornings and make this big like we did when we were kids, to get up and watch Saturday morning shows. Then we might consider doing this on a weekly basis. I know Chris and me, we're going to definitely honor what people are going to give us on their feedback, and definitely want to talk about things that you guys want to talk about related to the show. So this is our winter break. We will be back in the first Saturday of January. Chris and I will be preparing ourselves soon as Christmas ends of what we're going to talk about. And we're going to have some cool things planned for 2024. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Chris, do you want to say happy holidays and a little thank you to everybody?
Yes, thank you, everybody. We definitely enjoy you interacting with us, and proving Elvin wrong is definitely a way to make the show better. But
I'm never wrong.
Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate.
Yes. Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just have a good time. Enjoy life. Help out the people that need help. Hang out with your family, friends, co-workers, whatever. Just have a good time in life. And if you need a good laugh, come watch our shows. We try to entertain people and give them a good laugh, something to think about. It's fun.
If you want, here's my impersonation of one of my favorite characters. Hey, cow.
And with that, we've lost our 2 subscribers.
It's Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, I know who it is. Thanks.
Like when he kisses him on the cheek and leaves a little poop stain.
That is not a Christmas movie you should be watching. Show you should be watching.
Oh my god. It's just way too good. I'll be at work and my brain's so random. I was at work last week and I thought about Mr. Hanky.
You were sitting at work thinking about Mr. Poop?
No, it's just randomly hit my head because it's just like, okay, it's Christmas time and I'm painting. I do painting.
Were you painting with a brown brush?
No, and I'm just painting, and all of a sudden, all I hear in my head is "How," and then I'm like,
I like how we went from our season's greetings thing to this. This is the last thing people are going to hear from our episode.
Hey, at least it's funny.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, keep laughing.
Anyways, happy holidays to everybody out there. Enjoy the winter festivities and everything that comes with it. We will miss you guys, but we won't be gone for too long. We will be back in January. Take care, everybody. Stay safe and God bless and all those good things, and eat lots of cool food. And bye-bye.
Bye, guys.